I would like to welcome everyone here, and I see some of you are having food, so enjoy your food as well. I hope it's good. And I just would like to expect some expect some manage expectations. Sorry, yeah, I managed to mess up the first second. This is my biggest talk so far, so yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but also I prepared a lot, and we have very good materials, and I also have many live demos, which I can show to you. And this is very important to me. I am very happy to be here, and also as well very happy to see many people, as many faces. So probably I will look into some of you, and just yeah, use this as a comfort. I also made some friends in the first row, so thank you for that, guys. Enjoy the talk. I will talk about AI, and mainly about improving the UI of primary business applications, but I think some of the ideas can be useful for other applications, not just for business applications. And I am from Vadim, and I am a simple developer there, yeah, and I'm working with AI in the recent times, almost half year ago, and before that I also was quite much interested in AI. So I think along the way I learned quite many things, and I would like to share with you everything I know, as much time as we have. So let's start. How can AI help enterprise UX? So first, I have some headlines here, which are quite scary for the first time, if you check them. So all of the headlines are about how the AI will replace you or replace the developers, I would say, or other white-collar workers. It can be quite much for the mind to read all of these news. And I also had my own mini meltdown almost 1 year ago when I was reading all of the news, and I was going deep and digging into the AI and felt like, okay, that's the end of the world. Okay, we will be replaced in the next week or something like that. And yeah, I was so bad that we were in the supermarket with my girlfriend, and she wanted to choose the food for the dinner. And she asked what we should have, what ham, and I said, I don't care. It's the end of the world. It doesn't matter anymore, anything, but I was wrong. I was wrong because the dinner was amazing, and I get back to normal, and I felt like, okay, the world will probably not end if we have such good foods. By the way, I suggest you guys to check out Iberian Ham, because we had a vacation there, and that was the time for my meltdown. After that, I get better, but still, I understand that it can be a lot to process all of the things from what we are hearing out there. And just to give you some context, it happened before. It happened before many times. We know about 3 booms with considering the actual one. We had this kind of good old-fashioned AI boom. We had the expert system. And now we have this LLM models boom. I wouldn't go into a lot of details there, but you can see every 15 years or 20 years you have these kind of booms, and then you can have a winter. I don't know what will happen now. I know just we have very much a hype cycle, or we are going still up, and a lot of interest and a lot of money is pouring into AI, and maybe eventually we will have some kind of letdown period as well. We will see, but the point is, it's not new. It's happened before. And then, seems like a big switch, but still, I would like to talk a bit about different types of UXs, because at the end of the day, you would like to use AI as a part of the UI or enhancing your UI. Mostly, you can do that, but of course, you can do other things with it. On the left, you can see a well-known brand, which is quite clean, I would say, much more clean than the right side. You have less components, you have less way to interact with the UI. You have 2 date picker, and you have 1 other combo box to choose some options, and then reserve your place you want to stay. More pictures, more space between the elements. On the right, you have a business application, which having much more UI. It's much more data-centric. You need to do much more. You have much more components. And it's also a bit harder for the eyes for the first time. But you have other options there. For example, you could use a wizard and make it better for the customers to just manipulate this UI and work with it. So how AI can help in the UI? We have many ways. I want to show you 3 examples, and I want to guide you through them. The first example is what we build in Vadim. It's a build of my colleague, Markus Hellberg. He built expert assistant, which is using our knowledge base, it's using our documentations, it's using our FAQ and other information. It can even use like some kind of insider communication. Don't want to go too deep right now. A bit later I will, but it's using embedding vector database. So the database will build up at the first step, and then in the second step, when we have the request from the customers, then we can use this information and we can retrieve much more and much more specific and precise answers, and we can have less hallucinations for the artificial intelligence. Hallucinations is when the AI is making up something which is mostly not true, I would say. We can have AI as a collaborator as well. This is another work by another colleague, Mark England. And this is when you give instructions to the AI, and you can work together like a virtual assistant or a virtual colleague. And in this case, you see the components are filled by the instructions to the AI bot. You can also have other examples. For example, yesterday, if you have the chance or luck to see Sami's talk, he were talking about speech instructions to the AI. He was building a full, like some components, but he could build a full UI with just talking to the LLM model, and of course building top of that some kind of service which is taking the information from the AI and actually doing the component creation. So it's already happening, and we have many ways to do. We have even big companies in the picture where we already get advantages of the AI. For example, we have SAP, who is having this case, and they helped Accenture to increase the automatic cash processing by major percentages. What we built? We built a solution. We had the idea from an add-on, so I'm giving a credit to the add-on creator as well here, but we even did more into it, and we improved that, I think, in quite many areas. The team was, and the lion's share was Miguel Garcia, and we have also Mikael Shabarov, who were doing a lot around the maintenance tasks and around the demo and the flow-related parts. And we also got a lot of help from the Vadim herd as well. What is AI Form Filler? AI Form Filler is an add-on. You can download it anytime. And it converts unstructured data into structured data. So basically, it's filling your components with the data you can give. On the right side, you can see that there is a text area, and then you can copy an information about your candidate there, and then just click the button, and AI model will get this information, and will be able to know your AI, and eventually, as you see, the forms will be filled with the proper information. So the skills, the certifications, even overall impression, first name, last name, all of them can be filled easily by the AI if we use this solution. Key features. We tested many models and choose the best performing one. We also fine-tuned the prompts. So it's working in many cases. It's not making as much mistakes as other prompts. We also supporting most of the UI components for Vadim. And you can also give extra instructions. You can give context or component instructions, which meaning that, for example, you can do something like translate everything to another language. It should work. Also having some benefits. You can do easily the integration in just some lines, really, not more. And it's, I would say, developer friendly. So if you have a chance, really try out. Some sample use cases about the add-on. So this use case is about you have a text, you use the add-on, you fill the add-on with this text, and then, as you see, the component is filled with all of the information. You can have an invoice as well, and the invoice can have a bit different data. As you see, it can have like different structurings and different groupings of the data. So it's actually not so easy for if you use like Google Cloud, Google Vision. It's not always easy to get the data in the proper format. So maybe you will have the data in different lines, and in this case, the AI model will have a harder time to understand everything. But also, it's able to use this information and fill the data. You can also have some bills. Maybe you are traveling abroad. Maybe you are in a box, and you have a good dinner, and you would like to expense that, or you would like to use this as your own budget system and would like to put the information there. Then again, you can use this solution to do that. How it works. And now I'd love to give you some kind of more details about that. Hopefully it will be not too much. You need to build your application. You need to build it in Vaadin. So you cannot use it with other framework or solution right now. And then you have your unstructured data, which you can get from many places. You can get from a speech even. You can get from invoices. You can get from just a text box or an email. And then you have your application context, which is mainly the components you are having in the form. And then the AI formula will fetch and generate more information about that. Mainly, it will generate the AI ID for the components. It will generate the types for the components. So, for example, date picker have a different type than a number field. And you need to provide some kind of information to the AI to be able to fill it properly. And with all of this information, we can go to the LLM services. This is just a term we are using. And we have 3 implementations right now. 2 of them are ready for use anytime. The third will be hopefully ready soon. The 2 of them using OpenAI, and the third one is using AWS right now. We are going with this prompt, putting everything into it, putting the unstructured data, putting your components information, the components types, the IDs, everything. And with the JSON data we get back, we are able to process it, maybe clean a bit the response, and then just fill your components, fill your application or the form you have. And now I would do a live demo. So this should be the easiest from all of the demos I have. So you have this nice application. You have name, address, phone, age, client ID, many, many components. Hopefully you can see it. And then you have some kind of text. We have 3 types of text here. Some of them are unstructured, some of them are more grouped nicely, but I would use the first. And using this information, this probably it can be even, or potentially it can be an email. And then you can just let the model do the things. And then you can see the results. Everything is filled, or I would say most of the things are filled. And as far as I'm checking, the order sent, due date, creation date, order total, the name. Yeah, most of the things should be here. We have the item names as well. So all of the items there, the delivery date as well, the statuses. For first look, everything seems good. But if you look a bit better, or more, I would say, then you can see the names are in Spanish, and you can see as well the name is in uppercase. So why is that? It's because we gave already some kind of component and context instructions. So we have a instruction here to translate the item names to Spanish. So that's why you have some kind of Spanish names. That's the reason behind it. Also, you have some other information there. For example, you have from this field in uppercase. So that's why you have the name uppercase. So you can give many information, not just through the text, but also with some further instructions. You can also try out other instructions, but I'm afraid we need to skip that this time because we have more demos in line. We have another demo, which is this invoice, which is a bit harder to guess because OCR services are not always precise, so they can have some kind of mistakes. And also, I will show you this is the result from the OCR service, which is just recognizing the characters on the picture. And you can see all of the text are in different lines. So it's a bit harder for the model to understand, but still it should be able to fill a lot of things. So yeah, it was able to fill 2 items, but we had 3, so the chicken roosts are not there. It was able to fill order cost, and I think it's matching with the total cost, and the rest should be good. So the address is good, the name is good, the creation date as well. What we can do here as well, which I will do, is to try to change that model. And I have another model, which is hosted in AWS, which is using LLMA2, and it is fine-tuned for chat service. And we will try this model as well. Maybe it's giving a better result. And going back one more time, and even zooming it a bit, you can see I just changed one line, and then you are able to change the model. So basically, with the constructor, you can pass the services you are using for the AI model. Yeah, the application needed to reload because we changed the source code, so it's compiled and reloaded. But let's try again. Yeah, it's a bit faster. That's already good. And it's also having one more item. So it seems like this model is working better than the other one, which is actually quite interesting because OpenAI is quite popular, but still this fine-tuned model for chat use case is performing better. You can also see that it's making up some kind of information, so the order status is like we're not there, and still it was able to get it. Or I mean, it's hallucinating more of, so it's not proper information. But that's coming to like my other point that's why we need to have a human interaction. So it's not like you just give some information to the model and you just connect with the backend and everything will be fine. You can do that maybe in some cases, but most of the cases you still would need to have some kind of review for a human. Okay, this was one demo. This is the, briefly, this is the infrastructure we use in AWS. It's a very simplified version. Probably you need to much more if you want to have this as production environment, but still, with something like this, you can make it work. You need to have or you can have a SageMaker Studio. Of course, you could have a bare instance as well, and you could install there the proper dependencies and your model and train them. What we use SageMaker, it's a bit more convenient, and then your model will be placed into the Amazon S3 bucket, and then you can create an Amazon SageMaker endpoint. And with this endpoint, you are able to create a Lambda, which is connected to this endpoint. Of course, you need to do some kind of configuration and other AWS-specific things, but these are the big building blocks. The last step which you need to do is creating an Amazon API gateway. And basically here you just can set up the authentication for your gateway, and you can set up also the like REST endpoints if you want to use REST. So you can have GET, POST, whatever you want, and you can also set up the parameters as well. It's quite convenient. Okay, what are the challenges? This picture is AI generated, of course, and the guy who is sitting on the middle is basically the developer, and the monsters, and they are maybe visible, hopefully. There are like small insects and other monsters as well near to the developer. They are like the challenges and the problems which you can encounter using AI. So you have like a big monster, privacy concerns. We have a lot of customers who are not using us right now because they are afraid their data will go to the OpenAI server and somehow will be leaked out. So that can be a big problem. That's blocking us to be more relevant or be more frequent in big customers. And we can have also problems like non-determinism, slow response, overnight changes, or industry noises. All of them are like, I would say, monsters. The point I would like to make here is that we can have different results with the same prompt. This model, what you see now, the result of this model is Darwin from OpenAI, and the other one is Stable Diffusion. And if you check the results, it's quite different. For my taste, the other one is much better, but this is also quite funny, I guess. So that's why I included. You see, I have a prompt where I said I would like to have monsters and big insects surrounded a single developer who is sitting in the middle with a laptop, and the developer is engaged in a unique battle. And I got these pictures. I mean, it's not really the same as the other one. So the first picture is just developers creating a monster. It can happen as well, but that's not what I said. The other one is a monster creating some kind of application, and the third one is just monsters together doing some kind of hackathon. I'm not sure, but that's fully not the prompt. But if we go back, the same prompt resulted this image in Stable Diffusion. So what I would like to point out that the models matters, your prompt matters, and you need to try out a lot of options until you can find the proper one. So the monsters we have the industry noise, which is you can have many news, many models. It's coming out every week, every day. I also frequently change my talk because it's changing so much, and I have 1 month to prepare. I had 1 month to prepare it properly, and I changed it every week, and even did some changes yesterday because it's so changing rapidly. What you can do with that, testing the models, and you can also fine-tune the prompts you have for these models. Overnight changes, if you are integrating with a third-party service like OpenAI, then you are vulnerable for overnight changes. What can you do to fix that? You can use fixed model versions. So, for example, that's what we did. We are using, I think, a June version of the DaVinci 3.5. So it's working quite nice. But before that, when we used like the latest version of the OpenAI model, then we had quite many problems. What other things we have? Non-determinism. We can also do error handling and response cleanup, which we also do, because sometimes the JSON is coming not fully proper, so some kind of quotes is missing, or the tags are not the proper ones, like for the JSON arrays. We need to fix those. For the same matter, we can do unit and integration tests, which we did, so we have quite much. And with this, we can see at least if something is changed from one night to the other day, and it's helping a lot. The privacy concerns, yeah, this is the biggest monster. We can use hosted models, or we can use on-premise models even. That could be a solution for that one. And for slower response times, you can give more power to the instance you are using in AWS, or you can do some other tricks and hacks. So for example, you can have loading bars or partly fills, or you can have different configuration. How you can improve your model response? Circling back to the prompt refining, it's always working. I will start with this one, always, because it's the least resource, I think, and you can spend a lot of time with that. It's interestingly can be a lot of time to find the proper prompt, because all the words can have different meaning. You can also try out different models. So for example, in AWS, I tried out 2 or more models just for this use case, and one was fine-tuned, the other one wasn't. And not fine-tuned model was working very, very bad. I think it was even like quite offensive. Sometimes it said, okay, I don't know what you are talking about, I'm not giving you an answer, and stuff like that. So models can be quite much different. You can use an embedding database. as well, which is a different technique. And you can use fine-tuning as well. So these are the ones we tried out within the company, within the team. And all of them can have good results in different cases. So about embeddings retrieval, it's you're having an application. Usually it can be a chat application. That's the most frequent use case for embeddings. And you have a request about something, some topic, which is probably not the specific case for the model. So it's not trained for that case. It can be a business chat model. And you use that chat request and you build an embedding vector from it. You have different options for that. You can just use an open source algorithm, or you can use a third-party provider as well for that. OpenAI as well, having an endpoint for getting an embedding vector for a request. And then with a built-in embedding vector DB, you can go there, try to find the closest embedding vector, and then you are able to transfer back the test. And with this information, with this embedding vector from the database, you can just go to the model. You need to enhance your prompt. So you need to add this vector to the prompt. The transform vector, it should be a text. So you have the request, you have the context from the DB, and then with all of these informations, then you can go to the model, and you will have much better results. You will have less hallucinations. So that's how we build the application I showed in the very beginning, which was the Hilla assistant. So we have this application, and it's working quite nicely. Okay, and again, a live demo. So it will be Python code, so I'm sorry for that. No offense intended. It's just the usual way of, and the easiest way as well to train a model and then use it later. So what happened here, I had a training set. This training set is built on the Vaadin acronyms. So we have a lot of different acronyms which just Vaadiners know what does it mean. For example, we have EOD, Expert on Demand, we have EC, Expert Chat, and we have a bunch of. I didn't want to include a lot, so I have like 15 entry for training. You need to have at least 10, I think, for OpenAI to be able to train your model. And the first step is to use this dataset and upload to the OpenAI servers, and then you can create a training job. And after a while, actually, it wasn't too long in my case, and it was actually quite cheap as well. So in my case, it was half an hour queuing time, so I need to wait half an hour, and then it was 10 minutes training time. 6 epochs, and I will show you the results. And it was less than $1. It was really a fraction of a dollar, 0.02 or something like that, the price. So it really wasn't a lot. I restart the application to make sure that there is no additional context there. Increase the font for you guys to see properly. In the beginning, there is just some kind of configuration, the model name. This is the fine-tune model name, so you will have this kind of FT, like fine-tune. This is the prefix. You will have the name of your model. You will have the organization name, and you will have some kind of ID. And with this nice, long name, you can go to OpenAI and ask a question. I have some prepared questions here. So let's try this one. You need to wait a bit because if it's longer the answer, then it's generating every character. But you can see the second one is much more compact. It's not doing a lot of, or it's not doing any hallucination at all. So I hope it's visible. You can see the first answer for the old model without training. It says EC is a Vaadin component that wraps a DOM element. It stands for element component. It's fully hallucination. It does nothing at all with the truth. It's even trying to make it worse. So it's trying to put here more words. It's not good. It's like someone on an exam and try to say everything what it's in his or her mind, so it's fully random. But the good answer is actually expert chat, which is a commercial feature in Vadim. We can try other ones just to see if it's working. And it's not working always because the training wasn't enough. I should train more. I should also provide a validation training set. But it's good for to prove a point that you can also get good results with training. Yeah, so this one is not good, for example, because it's not end of the data and it's not end of day. It should be expert on demand. But if you try out enough time, then eventually it will give you the proper result as well. I checked the parameters and I think it was, I need to check again, but as I remember, yeah, the mean token accuracy was around 70%, so not perfect in all cases. Yeah, now, like the third time, I think, because I tried it already twice, for the third time, it find a good answer. So it's expert on demand. It's not nothing else. And of course, the old model, again, was wrong. It's not end of the data. So yeah, you can see that with fine-tuning, you can give some kind of information to the model about your business context and business acronyms or just business expressions or definitions, and it can provide much better results for your customers. Let's try another one just for fun, because this one's sometimes giving quite nice. I don't know why, but it's giving sometimes quite nice answers. For example, this one. TL refers for three-letter acronyms. Indeed, rather ironic. I love a little play on words. So it's some kind of playfulness is happening here, and it's usually giving you this kind of jokey answers. Try to make some jokes here. And the first answer, again from the original model, which wasn't trained, is not good because it's not textual user interface language. It's fully random. So with all this, I finished a bit earlier, but we still have time for questions if you want. And I would like to thank you for all of you for your attention. It was a good experience. I also would like to thank you for all of my colleagues and to my girlfriend to bear with me and to my mother as well. So thank you to you. Yeah, there is a question there.
That is obviously important to ensure that you actually get the data you want. Do you have any thoughts on how you will ensure that the employees using the form filler will still have their due diligence like 1 month or 2 months in the future when they are gotten used to working with the form filler?
Yeah, this is a very good question. And because it's quite new feature, we just rolled out, I think, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So we are missing these kind of experiences. But I think you made a good point here, because probably humans will be like, maybe not the proper word, lazy a bit with these kind of form fillings. And eventually they will just click, 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 click. So we need to investigate that. But of course, you can have some kind of time limits, limiting the time, giving some kind of, you cannot click the button until like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, or even checking the scrolling. So you have many ways to ensure that some kind of interaction is happening with the UI. But it's a good point, and at some point I think we need to tackle it if it will be more used. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
So you mentioned the JSON responses. Sometimes they could be incomplete.
Yes.
Could you use like the vector you talked about to add it to make sure that the model always responds with proper JSON?
So the question was about, and I forgot to repeat the other one, is about if the form filler is getting a data which is not proper or having mistakes there, can we use the embedding database or the embedding techniques to improve the results? And what we see so far, and I could have shown that, that in these kind of cases, so for example, if you have a typo, and just some words are missing or some characters missing, then the AI is quite good. It can understand it still, so it can make some kind of fixes. It's quite good in these kind of typos or other ambiguity. It can solve some of them. So it will be handled by the AI model. The embedding vector, we didn't try it with the AI form filler, but I see some benefits in some cases when maybe you know in advance that what type of data you will have. So for example, you know the document type and you know some kind of information from the document you will fill. Maybe you can use that to match with the embedded vector and then get more information, more context from the database. So we didn't try it, but I see the point. And also the AI is good in fixing these smaller errors. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Do I need the commercial license to try this out?
So what's the license for this kind of product? Right now, we just rolled out 2 weeks ago, so it's quite fresh. I am not sure about the marketing and the management decisions, but right now it's fully free. You can try out. And the problem is I cannot promise that it will be free half year later or 1 year later. But at the moment it's free. It's, yeah, that's what I can say. And thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sure.
In all the, let's say, all the mini models you have in the market, okay?
Yeah.
What's the criteria you use to select, or you try all you have available to see what's the best? So what's the criteria?
Yeah, this is a good question again. So what's the criteria for finding a proper model for this kind of product? We didn't try all of them because there are like hundreds or even more or thousands. I'm not sure, counting the Hugging Faces and every open source or every models around there. What we did was trying out most of the OpenAI models because we wanted to make it work. And as we thought, the OpenAI is the more robust and it's trained properly. And it's also not offensive because it was important for us. We are working with business customers. And then we had, we find 2 models good. One was the DaVinci text. It's giving a good result as well. And the other one was the GPT 3.5 with the June dataset. And when we had this use case, then we were investing more time into the AWS. And on the AWS, I was trying out quite much, which is available there. And most of them were not working as good. But it was rather random, I would say, or intuitive, not like business requirements and step-by-step process. Thank you very much. If no more questions, then I think we can wrap up. Thank you again.